All right, today we're looking at the Lancer Tactical dot sight on a Daisy 35. Now, I was surprised that people weren't more excited about this setup on my Legacy, which is doing very well, by the way. One cottontail and a housepecker to its name. But okay, so let's get to the bullet points on this. So basically, people see the adapter and they see how high this is hiked compared to the barrel. So the dot spot right there, and they think that this is you sight it in for one range and then you miss it every other range. So that's not the case. So let's go over this. So I originally sighted in for 7 yards to place a bird feeder from an open door from a deck, and then it still worked at 12 meters. You just had to change where you put the dot. Now, before we get into all that, let's start with the adapter. So that's UTG. This is another company, Lancer Tactical. And what I discovered on my Legacy is that actually can work loose from pumping it. The Legacy is a lot harder to pump, so it jarred this loose, and luckily I caught that before I tried any hunting. So make sure that when you put these on there, you get some of this like Permatex Loctite blue, and slightly pull those screws out, put some on there, and then screw it back in, leave it for a day, and it won't shake loose. This one has not been a problem. Now let's talk more about this unit. This unit has a locking screw right there. You need a different hex wrench than for the elevation right here. That's a lot bigger. Now my True Glow dot sight doesn't have this, and I think this is if you put this on a firearm, something really jolting, because I guess potentially your sights could start to move, or they start to, it basically it sights it in differently from the jarring. You'll lose your zero. So I haven't found that I needed to tighten this, though. You can choose to tighten that, but it takes a different screw. I got a little nervous because I did change the range on this, and it occurred to me if I don't have the tool, I'm kind of stuck because I can't work the adjustment like this one in the windage. So it's up to you if you want to do that. So like I said, the True Glow doesn't have this locking screw. Remember, it locks your sights in place. So I'm going to just leave that loose. Okay, so let's look at a bottle cap. So this is a 1-inch bottle cap, and what I like to do, I have to agree with Air Guns of Alaska that shooting it in paper is different than shooting like a 3-dimensional target like this. So I had it sighted in originally for 7 yards, and then so what did this look like at 12 meters? You think that I have to put the dot, and it's a very fine dot, by the way, 3 MOA. I had to put a dot some crazy place, and I just put the dot basically right there where you see me pointing at the bottom of this cap at 12 meters, and I hit here or here. Now remember, the 35 is a smooth bore, so most of the time I would hit it. Well, compared to the Legacy, it's almost all the time. So yes, by putting a dot right here, it would hit here, and confirmed it, and that it was sighted in. And obviously at 7 yards, I could just aim here. But so then I decided to change what I use this for, and I sighted it in for, let's see, 12 meters. I had 12 meters about that, aiming at pest up in a maple tree. So what I did, I had to recite that in, and just so you know, if you get this unit for your Daisy 35 with the adapter and that sight, I just turn it down 5 clicks. So instead of up, I went the other way. So I went this way 5 times, and it was right on that bottle cap, right in the middle at 12 meters. So just a little heads up there. So I also, because it's a smooth bore, I'd had to take some time, because was it the pellet, was it the gun? And so I had to spend a little time, and finally I figured out at 5 clicks down, and it sighted in for 12 meters and for that new job, so that when I put this cap at 12 meters, it hits right there, right in the middle, and hits it most of the time. So yeah, I have to agree with Air Guns of Alaska that, my personal belief is once you sight in for paper, of course, when I resighted in for 12 meters, I started with paper, and then I confirmed it with a 3-dimensional target, because this is closer to pest work and field work. So yeah, so as far as what the sight actually looks like, I want to just go with the instructions. So I chose to go with this right here. I chose like the Pipper. That's like in a jet fighter when they use the guns. I like the Pipper. I like the circle. I like the reference points and the dot. Some people just like the dot. I thought I liked the crosshair. I thought it was a little too busy on the target. So, but the nice thing about this site, you get 4 different choices. I went with the circle. So I just wanted to show that, just show it on the paper so you can see the different choices. You get 4 different choices and see what you like. So to conclude, the ammo I use for this gun is the H&N Sport. The old timers in my area say it's an ambassador from Germany. It's been around for decades. It's extremely good at getting Americans into the brand. It's good for smooth bores, multi-pump smooth bores like this 35 and my Legacy. And so it looks good in both. And with the flathead, again, I have a cottontail on the house pecker to my name with my Legacy. So this one, hopefully I'll get something with it, but it's looking good as far as accuracy goes. So, okay, so anyway, consider putting a dot sight on this. I agree with the great air gunner who said basically a good dot sight's good for a target that's not too far away and not too small. And it's really helpful in low light situations too. All right, thank you.